everyone, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, all depending on the time we're reaching you guys. Welcome back to our channel. So good to have you guys back here again, and thank you once again, guys, for your continuous and massive support to this channel. God bless you, my people. Really appreciate your support. We do not take you for granted. Yes, guys, as always, this one is coming from Edo State, Edo PDP. All know that Edo PDP was in a crisis, serious crisis. The battle for the ownership, who is in charge, who is in control. It started by Governor Godwin Obaseki dissolving the executive, and he stated that his motives were genuine. It was all about harmonization and integrating old and new members together so that it can be one happy family. Obaseki decamped to the People's Democratic Party just before the Edo State governorship election of 2020, and a lot of his loyalists went ahead with him. They moved with him to the People's Democratic Party. But what political analysts talked about at that point in time was that Obaseki was actually going to face some oppositions, and these are the oppositions. And what is going on, or what went on, was that the issue of trust rose up. They did not trust Obaseki because what they were saying, that Obaseki wants to take the party, he wants to claim ownership of the party so that himself and the the new PDP members, that was the word they called them. You can see that they've not really accepted them all the way. The crisis was so intense that they had to involve the national chairman, and even made a call for the Edo deputy governor Philip Shaibu to step down, that he should resign, and an old PDP member, because they were now separating them, old PDP member and new PDP members, because they were not they did not trust one another. Well, we know that didn't happen because Philip Shaibu is still the deputy governor. If it didn't happen at the start, I don't think it's going to happen now. If we recall very well, part of the consultations Governor Godwin Obaseki had before he moved was that Philip Shaibu was still going to remain his deputy, though PDP pressed hard to present a candidate, most probably from the other contestant, because they already had their aspirant, the PDP aspirant. They all stepped down for him, and then they wanted to present one, and Obaseki refused. But anyway, they accepted. So for them to accept Philip Shaibu, that means they know the position of the governor, that the governor uh, will not compromise or anything. Well, that crisis at the same time led to the suspension of the state chairman, Tony Aziegbemi. Edo PDP has just taken a decision on that right now. We'll bring you all of the details in a moment, but before we do, guys, please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Thank you once again. The members of the Edo State Working Committee SWC of the People's Democratic Party PDP have lifted the suspension of the state chairman Dr. Tony Aziegbemi. Edo Publicity Secretary of PDP Chris Nahikari made the disclosure on Saturday in Benin, the state capital. Nahikari said members of the State Working Committee of Edo PDP, after their meeting, called to deliberate on the report of the committee set up to investigate the allegations of gross misconduct against the chairman, Honorable Tony Aziegbemi, have exonerated and acquitted him. The suspension has therefore been lifted. Consequently, Edo chairman of PDP, Honorable Tony Aziegbemi, will assume his office with immediate effect. We thank all party members, supporters, and leaders for their cooperation and support during this period of self-audit. It will be recalled that Aziegbemi led State Working Committee SWC of Edo PDP reported Governor Godwin Obaseki, a chieftain of the party, to the Prince Uche Secondus-led National Working Committee NWC of the PDP for attempting to dissolve the executive of the party at the ward, local government, and state levels to accommodate members of the All Progressive Congress APC who defected with him on June 19 last year. Aziegbemi-led PDP declared that the only condition for Obaseki's requested harmonization would be for Edo Deputy Governor Philip Shaibu to resign and be replaced by one of the old members of PDP, thereby culminating in the suspension of the state's chairman of the party by the loyalists of Obaseki, with Aziegbemi's allies kicking and describing the suspension as illegal, unconstitutional, null, and void. However, we know that even after they kicked, the suspension still held It held water. Right now, Chris Nahi Kerry has just confirmed that the suspension has been lifted. And you know the allegations against him was that of misconduct, and they were investigating all of his actions because he was the one that even called for the resignation, that Philip Shaibu should step down and an old PDP member should take over. That shows that they are just suspicious of one another. They don't trust one another. Philip Shaibu was the deputy governor for the first 4 years, and the second 4 years now, to them it feels like it's old. They still look at them like APC. That is what is shocking. These guys have left their party, and not just ordinary members. They were leaders in that APC that moved as well. If we remember, Ojezwa, he had a position. He was actually the chairman of the APC, Edo APC. He moved. And all of these guys, I'm sure they would have thought about it very well with this sort of position, but the way the governor was treated and the way things were going on within the All Progressive Congress, they thought that this APC, they don't have the heart for the people. The APC candidate they were presenting, it was even Ojezwa who stated that APC did not have a candidate because he was not in support of the APC candidate, Pastor Osaige Ize-Iyamu. So these were people who moved over, people who had position. They moved over and they are all members. They are just members of the PDP. Obaseki's intention was that let him harmonize the party and then put people where they should be, and those that needs to get into leadership position like what they've been doing before. It's just a change of party. They've been in leadership before. They can still do it even on a different platform. But Aziegbemi did not see it that way. That was what led to all of this, and he was suspended. At that point in time, it was stated that the suspension was illegal. They kicked against it, although they kicked against it, but we know that the suspension held, and this suspension has been over a month now. It's just now that the suspension is being lifted, and he has been told that he can resume all his activity as the state chairman. Well, we hope and we pray that that will bring an end to all of the crisis, because a house divided against itself cannot stand. The country is having its own issue. Those states have their own share, so that's with regards to the insecurity. And if they begin to fight one another like this, what time would they have to look into the issues, the things that are affecting the state? All of those are distractions. So it's good that they've put their house together. As Aziegbemi suspension has been lifted, and they are now working together. We just hope that this one does not surface again with all of even this defection that is going on. Well, guys, let's hear your thoughts down below in the comment section. Thank you once again for staying tuned. Please don't forget to like, share, and to subscribe. Till I come your way again with more updates. Bye.